Hello guys, and today I'm going to be doing the, that was fun, series review for the City of Bones series, and the only reason I don't like this because this cover is beautiful and it doesn't fit. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's just get right into it, shall we? This series is made up of Book 1, City of Bones, Book 2, City of Ashes. I know these. Book 3, City of Glass. Book 4, City of Fallen Angels. Yeah, I knew that. And Book 5, City of Lost Souls. So, these books are all by Cassandra Clare. I mean, obviously it's one author. And they are fantastic. I mean, the third one is pretty crappy, but we'll get into that later. So, let me start by, well, if you've read these, you know what they're about, so I don't really need to go into that. Okay, so, Book 1. Let's just talk about that. Well, I might as well just read you a, no, actually, let's do this way. If you have not read, no, okay, so for this one, I'll talk about Book 1 first, and if you have not read it yet, you're fine. You can stay. Okay, so this is the synopsis from the back cover. When Clary Frey heads out to the Pandemonium Club in New York City, she hardly expects to witness a murder, much less a murder committed by three teenagers covered with odd markings. This is Clary's first meeting with the Shadowhunters, warriors dedicated to ridding the earth of demons and keeping the odd werewolves and vampires in line. It's also her first meeting with gorgeous golden-haired Jace. Within 24 hours, Clary is pulled into Jace's world with a vengeance. When her mother disappears, Clary herself is attacked by a demon. But why would demons be interested in an ordinary mundane like Clary? And how did she suddenly get the sight? The Shadow Hunters would like to know. So, this book is really good. And so now, if you have not read this, skedaddle, because it's good. I don't want to spoil it for you because this would be like a horrible book without spoilers. Or with spoilers. Whatever. So, first of all, Jace. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we all agree how, like, awesome Jace is? I love Jace. I loved him from the moment we saw him in this book. And I just grew to love him more. Although, for a while there, I kind of hated him, but that's not the point. I love his, like, sense of humor, and it's just, and he's so full of himself. It's so funny. Let's see if I can find this line. Okay, so I found it. So Dorothea says, it says, Dorothea folded her soft white hands in her lap. More than you might think, she says. Didn't I read your tea leaves, Shadowhunter? Have you fallen in love with the wrong person yet? Jace said, Unfortunately, Lady of Heaven, my one true love remains myself. Dorothea roared at that. At least, she said, you don't have to worry about rejection, Jace Wayland. Not necessarily. I turn myself down occasionally, just to keep it interesting. That line is so good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love that line. I mean, there are others, but that one just sticks out to me to be, like, amazing. Anyway, so, yeah, I love Jace's and his complete self-centeredness. He's not self-centered, but he's not modest at all. He's not even remotely modest. Also, another amazing, I just totally lost my train of thought. That was kind of weird. Luke, in the beginning of this book, I did not like Luke at all. I don't know why I didn't like Luke. I don't remember, but I didn't. And that was hard for me because, I mean, he was kind of a big part. Especially when Clary's mom is captured and they go to Luke's house to see if he knows anything or whatever. And they see him talking to these guys, and he's saying that he doesn't care about Jocelyn. And it's like, no, you do care. What are you talking about? It really bothers me how he's always, I mean, I know he's just doing it to, like, protect her or whatever, but it really bothers me. But by the end of the book, I do get to like him just because he's such a nice guy. and you don't see that very much in the beginning, but also, like, Jocelyn, I didn't like her in the beginning. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna be one of those really, like, finicky mothers. But then when she gets captured, I'm like, okay, I like you now. You're captured. I like you now, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. And then Simon, there's this one line. So, Clary and Jocelyn and Luke are all... No, I think it's just Luke and Jocelyn. Okay, so they're talking. And so he's like, talk to her, Jocelyn. Luke's voice was firm. I mean it. He reached for the doorknob. The door flew open. Jocelyn gave out a little scream. Jesus, Luke exclaimed. Actually, it's just me, said Simon. Although I've been told the resemblance is quite startling. That's a good line. That's like Simon's only good line in this book. Because one thing about Simon that bothers me to no end is in the scene where it's Claire's birthday and Claire and Jace are in the greenhouse. And then they come back after, like, making out in the greenhouse. And Simon just comes out of a room. And then Jace gets all, like, offended, which, like, he has a right to, honestly, he does. And Simon's like, is his timing, could it be any less horrid? Ugh. It just really bothers me. And from then on, till about the 4th book, I hated Simon, which is kind of cruel, but whatever, I did. So, yeah, what else? What else is there? Oh, Eric is hilarious. Oh my god, he's so funny. I'll show you. I'll read something. Okay, so my first poem is called Untitled. He screwed up his face as if in pain and wailed into the mic. Come, my foe jaggernaut, my nefarious loins, slather every protuberance with arid zeal. It's like, oh my god. Oh my god, it's so bad. And then the last thing is like, turgid is my torment, Eric wailed. Agony swells within. It's like, that is so bad, but Eric is such a hilarious guy. Like, who would come up with that? That's horrible. Anyway, so I think that about wraps it up for this book talk. This book, the first book. Now on to the second book. So now, if you have, okay, yeah. So if you've read the first book, but not the second book, you can let's synopsis and then go away. Okay. Claire afraid just wishes that her life would go back to normal. But what's normal when you're a demon-slaying shadow hunter? Your mother is in a magically induced coma, and you can suddenly see downworlders like werewolves, vampires, and fairies. Claire would love to spend more time with her best friend Simon, but the shadow hunters won't let her go, especially her handsome, infuriating newfound brother Jace. Oh, wait a second. That's one thing I forgot to talk about. We're going to back up for a second. First book, when they find out that they're brothers, siblings, I was so mad. I was so mad. Because, like, they had such a nice little relationship, and then it's like, boom, brother, sister. No. Bad. They pulled the Star Wars on us. Bad. Bad. Okay, anyway, back here. And you can suddenly see Jace, and Clary's only chance to help her mother is to track down rogue shadow hunter Valentine, who's probably insane, certainly evil, and also her father. When the second of the mortal instruments is stolen, the terrifying Inquisitor suspects Jace. How could Jace... Okay, I keep forgetting to talk about things. Switch. In this book, the whole, like, she can draw it and then put it on the paper is so cool! Like, that's so awesome. Like, I love how they get the cup, and it's right in front of her eyes. It's right there, and she doesn't see it. And then she's like, oh my god, it's like I know what to do. And her drawing talents are amazing. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. And that's just a really cool, like, touch to add on there. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm just going to start over on the synopsis. Clary Frey just wishes that her life would go back to normal. But what's normal when you're a demon-slaying shadow hunter? Your mother is in a magically induced coma, and you can suddenly see downworlders like werewolves, vampires, and fairies. Clary would love to spend more time with her best friend Simon, but the shadow hunters won't let her go, especially her handsome, infuriating newfound brother Jace. Clary's only chance to help her mother is to track down rogue shadow hunter Valentine, who's probably insane, certainly evil, and also her father. When when the second of the mortal instruments is stolen, the terrifying Inquisitor suspects Jace. Could Jace really be willing to betray everything he loves, he believes in, to help his father? So, this book, I didn't like this one as much as the first one. It was okay. It wasn't as bad as the third, but so let's see. I don't really remember this book very well. But I do remember that I hate when Jason is in his little prison. That was so... Oh, I was really mad. Gotta say, I was really mad. I did not like that at all. He was trapped, could not help at all. It was bad. And, they're trying out the whole dating thing. And so he's like, vampires don't change, they're very traditional, etc., etc. And then it's like, reliable, is that how you think of me? She demanded in mocking indignation. I can't even say this. Indignation. That's not very romantic. A shadow passed over his face. Clary, what is it? She reached out his hand and held it. You're using your bad news voice. He looked away from her. I don't know if it's bad news or not. Everything's one or the other, Clary said. Just tell me. Just tell me you're alright. I'm alright, he said, but I don't think we should see each other anymore. Clary almost fell off her lounge chair. You don't want to be friends anymore? Clary, and then she's like, ranting on and on and on. And it's just... Okay, so I didn't like how Clary reacted to that. But I did like how he was like, no, we just shouldn't, date or whatever. And then I think he got Mia as a girlfriend in this one. Anyway, I like that. I like when Simon stopped trying to go after Clary. That was good. I don't really remember anything else in this book, except that, yeah, I don't know. So I'll just say that I did not like this book as much as the first one, and then move on to the third one, which I do remember better. Because I think the second one was the one I read longest away, which is kind of weird because right now, my dad is reading it, and he's reading it, we're reading it kind of together, so I'm in the middle of that one. Well, not in the middle, at the end, but okay, City of Glass, last one. If you've read the second one but have not read the third one, then stick around. To save her mother's life, Clary travels to the City of Glass, an ancestral home of the Shadow Hunters. Never mind that by doing that, she's breaking the law, which could mean death. Even worse, Jace does not want her to be there, and Simon's been thrown in prison by shadow hunters who are deeply suspicious of a vampire who can withstand sunlight. Luckily, Clary finds an ally in the mysterious Sebastian, who holds a strange affection for her. As Valentine musters a demon army, can downworlders and shadow hunters put aside their ancient hatred and work together, and can Clary harness her newfound powers to help save them all, whatever the cost? So, this book was my least favorite. No, actually, this half is my least favorite. This one, the back half is fine. But definitely my least favorite. I think it might have been because of Jace being such a jerk, and Clary being, all lovey-dovey to Sebastian, which really got on my nerves, because I was like, Jace, get your stuff together. Stop punching windows with your bare hands. What are you doing? Anyway, so I did not like when Jace was punching windows with his hands and being all mad and then kissing a line. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you just trying to make Clary jealous even though, you still think she's your brother? What is this? So, that was really frustrating to me. But, I also don't like, for some reason, I did not like when Simon was put in prison. It might have just because it might have just been because it was so unfair. It was so unfair that he was put in there because it wasn't his fault. It was totally the Inquisitor that was making everything up. Which is really stupid because, you can't just make things up. You could be working for them, so we're going to put you in prison that you can't get out. And if you touch it, you'll burn your hands without blood to drink. Smart? No. I don't think so. I also liked the person who was posing as, oh, what was his name? I don't remember. Hodge in the next cell over. I loved his personality in that. When he's Hodge, I don't like him, but when he was that other guy, I did like him. And it might have just been because it was kind of like a new start. You didn't really know he was Hodge. I didn't guess at all that he would have been Hodge. Like, it was done so well. I would never have guessed. Sebastian. Oh my god. Even before I found out he was evil, I hated him. I hated him so much. And I'm pretty sure that we find out that Sebastian is Clary's brother and Jace is not in this book, and I was so happy. So happy. And I love the scene at the lake with Sebastian dying and Jace dead, and then Clary like erases her, but Valentine's name and puts her own, and then acid angel for like Jace. That was like the sweetest thing ever. I loved that. And the fact that she would have just like killed herself, but she knew that Jace would be like disappointed in her. He wouldn't want her to do that. That was so sweet. I loved that. That was so good. But I also, when her mom came back, I was really mad at her. I wasn't mad as Clary was. But then as she started telling her story, I started to like be like, I mean, yeah, she did some bad things, but she's still a great person. And she's still a really nice woman. And, oh my god, I clapped. I was so happy when Valentine died. So happy. So happy. And, because, in the first book, we learned that he gave Jace a raven, or a falcon, and then told him to train it, and he made it love him, and he was supposed to break it. So Valentine snapped his neck, and I was like, oh my god. That's like one of the littlest things he's done, but I hate Valentine. Like, who doesn't? Anyone who likes Valentine is a psychopath, I'm quite sure. No offense if you do like him, I didn't mean that. That was kind of stupid. Anyway. So, I really did love when Jace kills, or does Jace do it? I think Jace does it. Kills Valentine, but I also love when Clary like gets the idea to bind people. So I love when she like gets the idea to like bind them, and that's like such a good idea because it gives them all like a ton of powers. And the mark on Simon's forehead is also really cool because, I mean, it means he's basically like, we see what happens. This guy, hurts him and he dies. So that was pretty good. That was really good. Good idea, although it does get him in some trouble in the fourth book, but that's okay. And yeah, that was good. I think it's in this book when Jace and Clary are in the basement of that building, and they see the angel, and then everything blows up, and so Jace like tackles Clary like out the window, and they roll. And then, like, they're rolling down this hill. It's like, guys, weirdest thing ever. And kind of cool, but weird. But I got pretty mad at Clary during this book for a while because she was, I don't know, she got, like, she seemed like she wanted to be alone a little bit. Some main characters do this, and, like, I think they're, like, trying to get people to, like, pay attention to them, but it doesn't work. That's not how you do it. It makes everyone mad at you. Anyway, so, yeah, there's the third book for you in a nutshell. I mean, not really a nutshell, but the fourth book. So, if you have read, well, same deal. Synopsis time. The Mortal War is over, and Clary Frey is back in New York. She's training to become a Shadow Hunter and to use her unique power. The Underworld and Shadow Hunters are at peace at last, and most important of all, Clary can finally call Jace her boyfriend, but nothing comes without a price. Someone is murdering Shadow Hunters, provoking tensions that could lead to a second bloody war. Clary's best friend Simon can't help her. Everywhere he turns, someone wants him to be on their side, along with the powerful or along with the power of the curse that's wrecking his life. When Jace begins to pull away from Claire without explaining why, she is forced to delve into the heart of the mystery, whose solution reveals her worst nightmare. She has set in motion a terrible chain of events that could lead to her losing everything she loves, even Jace. So this book, the first bit was so good, and I was like, yay, they're finally together. Yay, yay, everything is so perfect. Valentine is dead. And then it's like everything goes and blows up in everyone's faces. So, first thing, let's talk about Jace in this book. In the beginning, he was so sweet, and he's such a good guy. And he's always been a good guy, but he was so, like, perfect. And then when he starts pulling away, we see his nightmare, and, I felt really, really bad for him. The poor guy. It was better. I'm glad they showed us the nightmare, or Santa Claire showed us this, because otherwise, it would have been a little bit harder to just accept that Jace is pulling away from Clary. But with this, he was afraid he was going to hurt her, basically. And he thought that it meant something. So, I kept wanting to shout at him, just talk to Clary, ask her what she thinks, and when he finally does, I'm like, yes. And then they go to the city of Bones, the brothers, and they try to help him, but really he's getting possessed. Well, not possessed, but controlled. And this one, or is it the next one? Okay, so when Jace is being controlled by Lilith, I hated that, because it wasn't Jace, and I wanted Jace, and I was afraid that he wouldn't come back, and I was sad. And when at the party, when he steals Clary, and then he, brings her, and he's, offering her up to this demon woman, and he's like, what are you doing? And then Simon is gonna, sacrifice himself, basically, make him, put himself in agony for Clary. That was, so sweet. It was so good. And Sebastian, I hated, I loved how Cassandra Clare kind of turned it around. Yes, we got Jace back, everything's really happy and stuff, and Sebastian is dead, and Valentine is dead, and everyone's happy, but nothing comes without a price, as she said in the synopsis. Actually, if good gets one guy, bad also gets one. If good gets one, evil gets one. So, because angels revive Jace, the demons can revive Sebastian. It's the balance, which sucks. At least they didn't go for Valentine, though, honestly, because that might have been worse. Because they already know, the thing is, they already know Valentine, more or less. Sebastian was this new problem, and they were like, whoa, this is a problem. Anyway, and then I hate, at the very, very end, when Sebastian has control over Jace, and he leaves. And it's like, what are you doing? And when he just wants to be alone, because he blames himself for everything, etc., etc., he blames himself for hurting Clary, and yeah, he might have given her a cut, but that wasn't him. It was Lilith, through him. And Clary's okay with it. This is one thing I don't like about Jace. It's one of his flaws, his character flaws. He blames himself for everything that happens to anyone he loves. And it's really annoying because he doesn't do any of those things. It's not his fault. So, that's really, really annoying. I'm sorry, that's really annoying. But, that's okay. Whatever. That was not good. I did not like that. I liked it I'm not saying that it wasn't bad, that it was bad. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how it went. It was necessary, though. It was. Because that amazing thing that happened cannot come without a price, or else it would be weak. And we don't like weak. Also, Camille. Can we all talk about how horrible a person she is? She's such a gigantic jerk. I hate her. I hate her so much. She wants Simon, and she's a gigantic jerk to try to get him on her side. And she's all, enticing and stuff. And then Simon considers it. What the heck? Also, the rings are pretty cool. I like the rings. that doesn't have anything to do with Camille, but I do like the rings. How, or no, that's the next book. Never mind. Never mind. Next book. Okay, so Camille. I don't know. I didn't like it. And Alec, I didn't like how Alec was all like, you know, he finds out that Magnus is like a bajillion years old. I mean, he knew this, but that he dated other people before him. And like, that's a given. I mean, Magnus is like a bajillion years old. He's Magnus. What can you say? And so Alex always all like, you know, did you date him? Did you date him or her or either? But and he gets so mad when he finds out that he did Camille. And it's like, Alec, it's okay. It's not that bad. Camille's a horrible person, yes, but it's not that bad. Whatever. Yeah. So let's see what else. That's about it for this book. And this was a good one. I like this one. Not as much as the first one. I always like the first in the series, heck. But it was a very good one. Okay. Fifth book, which has a beautiful cover. Okay. Okie dokie. This is a long synopsis. That's fine. Okay, the demon Lilith has been destroyed and Jace freed from captivity. But when the Shadowhunters arrive, they find only blood and broken glass. Not only is the boy Clary loves missing, but so is the boy she hates, her brother Sebastian, who is determined to bring the Shadowhunters to their knees. The Claves Mac cannot locate either boy, but Jace can't stay away from Clary. When they meet again, Lily and Clary discovers the horror Lilith's magic has wrought. Jace and Sebastian are now bound to each other. Jace has become a servant of evil. The Clave is determined to destroy Sebastian, but there's no way to harm one boy without destroying the other. Only a few people believe that Jace can still be saved. Together, Alec, Magnus, Simon, and Isabel deal bargain with the sinister Seelie Queen, contemplate deals with demons, and turn to their last mercenaries, the weapon-making Iron Sisters, who might be able to forge a weapon that can sever the bond between Sebastian and Jace. The Iron Sisters can't help, and the only hope is to challenge heaven and hell, a risk that can only claim their lives. They must do it for Clary, for Clary is playing a dangerous game utterly alone. The price of losing not just her life, but Jace's soul. She's willing to do anything for Jace, but can she still trust him? Or is he truly lost? What price is too high to pay even for love? So, this book was really good and really frustrating. It's a big one. I mean, it's a chunky book, but I did like it. I did like it a lot, but I did not, however, like Jace in this book ever, except like the one night when he was himself at the end. Everything else was really bad. And that kind of wrecked the book for me. Not wrecked, but it took away from the book. Because I usually love Jace with all my heart. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, so this whole like binding thing, oh my god, that really bothered me because I cannot kill Sebastian for like a long time. And so let's talk about the Alec, Magnus, Isabel, Simon group first. I really loved how confident they were that they could bring Jace back, because they did not give up. They went to the Iron Sisters, who could not help them. They tried a demon, he could not help them. And finally they were like, hey, I don't think they can hurt Simon. Let's try an angel. That's smart. But, you know, it works. That's good. And it's just crazy. I love their devotion. And Alec and Magnus are still an ongoing couple, although at the end it's like, oh my god. When Malik dies, not good. Well, not dies, but when Magnus is like, it's over for Alec, I almost cried. Like, I did not like Alec, but I loved Magnus, and I did like him in the 5th book because of his devotion to Jace. But it is what it is, you know? And Simon's Weird Love Life, it's kind of hilarious. I think that might be in the 4th book, but it was really funny. Anyway, not the point. So they bring up the angel, and he gives Simon the sword. That was good. That was a good part. I liked that. There's like this battered up old gold sword. And, okay, so Simon, Jace, and Clary. Sebastian, not Simon. As I said, Jace just bothered me. How he was doing everything Sebastian said, and we know why, but it's still horrible. And I think it was in this book, Simon was like, you may, even if Jace isn't your brother, you still kiss your brother. And it's like, yeah. Shut up, Simon. Anyway, and then the rings that they had, Simon and Clary, that was a really cool idea, how they could, like, communicate. But it was really frustrating when Clary, like, smashed hers, or, like, lost it. And I was like, oh no, everyone's gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. They didn't. That was good. I like that. I like that part of it. And Sebastian was so evil. He doesn't have a moment where he's not evil. He's always evil, which is bad. I don't like him, and he's not dead yet, and that annoys me. And then the one night where Jace, like, cuts his mark, and then he's, like, himself, and I was like, yes, you're back, yay. And then he goes back to being Sin. The battle, though, was really cool. How, like, they go onto this, like, the battlefield, and then they fight, and they're all, like, you know, the claims people, like, there's, like, none of them, and then Sebastian being evil again and giving the people demon blood or whatever it was, and so they were turning these superhumans or super shadow hunters. That wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. And then I do love. I was so scared when I think it was Clary who stabbed Jace, and I was like, "What are you doing? That's the wrong guy. What are you doing?" It turned out right, but I was really scared for her and Jace, like really scared, because what if it didn't work? What if it killed him but not Sebastian? That would have been like, oh, not again, not again. So I'm glad that it worked out, but it was tense. I was tense at the end there. And, what else? Okay, so when I really hated how affectionate Jace was for Clary, because there were those moments when I was like, actually, he's not that bad, but he is, and I hated that. I hated that he was, but I was not believing it for a second. It's not good. In the end, though, when he comes back, it's like, yay, you're back. Yes. Yes. But he might, I forget what was it. He might have some kind of weird blood in him now. He might be slightly evil or something, which would not be good. That would be very bad. Anyway, time is getting on, and I should probably wrap this up. So, I'm just gonna show you their spines. There we go. Mortal Instruments series. Great series. Recommend it. Okay. Bye-bye.